Thank you for watching. My name is Glen Morgan, and this is We the Govern. Now, if you have been following this channel at all for any length of time, at least since the early part of the year, you'll know that we have been involved in doing a lot of training for the DOGE Washington folk out there. Those of you who want to hold government accountable and to get into the books and finances and see what's going on. So just in case you wonder if we are finished going out and doing our training, we haven't hardly begun. We've done about 14 training sessions of DOGE Washington, and we'll be picking it back up again here after a little bit of a hiatus there in the late summer. So we're going to be back and going throughout Washington State and any of the nearby states as well, if you want me to come down and help train you in those states as well. But generally, we're mainly focused on Washington State right now, and I'm trying to get out there and train as many activists as I can so that you can help hold government accountable and dig in and figure out what exactly is going on in government where you live today. And I think these are great skills: how to use Public Records Act stuff, how to look for fraud, waste, and abuse, how to go through the financial books, and how to find the inevitable waste that exists. I almost guarantee it in almost any jurisdiction you live in, and it doesn't matter if you live in a red state or a blue state, red county or blue county. I'm sorry to say, you're going to always find something that could be improved and fixed, and DOGE Washington is a good way to do that. And the classes, I think, are going to be pretty beneficial for the people who take them. Again, just a quick reminder, I do define government bureaucracy as essentially a mountain of corruption, or a mountain of corruption that's concealed by an ocean of incompetence. And inside that ocean, there are some fish swimming around doing good work, but generally you're just going to find lots of problems wherever you look in government. It is the nature of man to, when they don't think anybody's looking, to sometimes do bad things. And as an active and engaged citizenry, it's up to you and I to actually get involved and hold government accountable. So, DOGE Washington, just know that we're coming out there and we're going to be paying attention to what's going on. Because if you've been paying attention at all to what's going on where we live, we are paying platinum prices for garbage government, especially in Washington State. And we need to change that. The bloated taxes that our dear leader here, Bob Ferguson, gave us, and his disastrous budget is just another example of how most of our life energy, as it applies to the taxes we give him, it is squandered and wasted on foolish and sometimes destructive, oftentimes wasteful, and frequently corrupt things. So there's a lot of work to do, and there's a lot to be exposed, and that should be exciting for those of you who care about it. If you are interested in this is essentially what the classes would look like. I do the presentations. I have a lot of handouts that I'm going to be giving out to you. We have lots of questions and answers. Usually you have an opportunity to meet other people where you live who are also sort of interested in the same things that you might be. So number one, if you're interested in hosting one of these classes, we just have to sort out a date. I've got a lot of different events coming up. I usually do these on weekday nights. So if you are interested in hosting something where you live, I have been all over the state of Washington once already, but again, inevitably, there's always a lot of people that haven't had a chance to take these classes, or new groups pop up, new communities, new cities, new counties. So if you want me to come out and do it, we have to find a date. It's usually going to be a weekday night. Typically, we'll start registration at the door at 5:15. Program starts at 6. We're usually done, even with Q&A, by around 8 or so, but I typically will stay later and answer anybody else's questions, and frequently it's not unusual for us to stay an extra hour, hour and a half afterwards, going over really specific issues that some people might have. So find that date, let's get that negotiated first, and then once we nail that down, we can find and confirm a location. By the way, the dates, again, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursday nights, these are oftentimes the dates. Weekends don't work as well because people do have other things going on. But we can make an exception. It just depends on if we can find a date without a conflict. And then, of course, find and confirm a location. I usually recommend rooms that at least can hold 50 people or more. It's usually better if it's closer to 100 or more. And churches are great, and a lot of churches have been letting us host these events at their location on weekday nights. And then you just have to be willing to share it out far and wide in your local community and help promote the event so that there's enough people there to make it worthwhile. Again, I'll be there. I'll show up, but it is always more productive if you get, at least north of 30 and not more than about 250. That would be the max I think that we could have an effective event with. And then I do charge $15 a person. Largely, this just helps cover some of the basic costs. And if and it also does help with these guys right here, because I don't care if people want to come spy on us. There's nothing to hide. If you want to come spy on us at these events, feel free to do so. I will link to an article from the Skagit Valley Herald from a while ago that they did about one of our training sessions, and I think it reflects pretty accurately what they're like. But mainly, come prepared to learn and be inspired, and come away with enough handouts and enough direction on how to get going that you should be able to get started in your own DOGE Washington efforts where you live. So go down below, feel free to link to some of the articles I posted up. And we'll start posting up some of these events as they're getting confirmed. I know I have one that's confirmed up in Vancouver shortly after this video comes out, but there will be others throughout the state. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and just remember that, as I always say, and DOGE Washington is no different in any activity you do, getting and holding government accountable and exposing and shining that daylight, that the transparency on exactly what they're doing with the money you give them. I think it's an important part of showing up, because, as I always say, the future belongs to those who show up.